The increase of right-wing groups in Europe is nothing new in itself, but it's their continued presence that has some MEPs worried here in Strasbourg. But just how worried should they be?
I think the threat is very real. We have a proportional representation system for the European Parliament elections right across the European Union, and therefore share of the vote counts. And when a party like this is getting 40% of a vote, total vote cast, it's time to wake up and to respond in a way that the electorate then feel that they can once again invest in the wider democratic processes rather than turning to the extremes.
But are you confident that people can and MEPs can re-engage with the public?
Yes, of course. We, of course, are seeing an increased share of the vote in extremist parties right across the European Union, but what we are also seeing is that where they are being challenged, that vote does begin to crumble. The British National Party vote share has dropped to an almost negligible level. The reason for that is that they've been put under scrutiny. So it's essential we start to ensure that the public see a scrutinised version of all of these parties, and as soon as that starts to happen, people will reject what they are saying.
But with the European elections fast approaching, MEPs are worried what it will mean if more right-wing politicians are voted in. MEP Livia Jaroka spoke to me about what effect that would have.
What we learned here is the parliament at this stage, how we have the right-wing parties inside of the parliament, is not the best place for them to do politics, as they don't have a fraction together. But the next parliament, if there are more people and more numbers are coming in, definitely there is a threat that there will be change in dialogue as their numbers are growing. The problem with that is that what we learned from experience in the last few years with working with different parties, and of course at some points the far-right parties came into the dialogue. But what we have seen is that they couldn't really propose any solutions that were feasible for the communities, for the member states, for the EU as a whole.
So on a European level, the main worry really is that it'll make the European Parliament stagnant, all in all.
If they can make a fraction, and that was a question in 2009 also, then yes.
But how do right-wing parties react to MEP concerns? I met with the chairman of the BNP and MEP Nick Griffin. I asked him if the BNP vote was at a negligible level, as claimed by MEP Saj Karim.
No, it's entirely untrue. The whole point is our policies haven't been scrutinised. What I've done as an MEP hasn't been scrutinised. For instance, I went to Syria just before Cameron's proposed attack. ITN covered my conference speech about it, yet they kept it quiet. The fact is the public aren't told what we do, what we achieve, and therefore they sometimes think, is there a point voting for us? If they knew the truth, they know there is.
Many MEPs say that politicians such as yourself are only in the European Parliament in order to stop it from working. Is that true?
We go into the Parliament to represent the wishes of the British people, which is to get Britain out of this place, and in the meantime to throw the spanners in the works of the various crazed things the socialists especially come up with. It's true, yeah.
Difficult times breeds discontent, but the irony is the more that the European Parliament is used as political protest, the more ineffective it will become. And it's that downward spiral that MEPs want to avoid. This is Björk Smith-Meyer for JN1 at the European Parliament in Strasbourg.